Hello, church family. This week's devotional, we're going to be taking a look at the book of Ezekiel. Now, Ezekiel was a prophet, and he was living in very difficult, tumultuous times, and he spoke out a lot against the people and what he saw in his world. Some of the things that he spoke out against were people becoming idolaters. He spoke out against leaders who falsely assumed that war and wealth would lead to peace. And he spoke out against uh, taking advantage of and neglecting the most vulnerable people in his society. And so he shared a lot of this doom and gloom kind of attitude. And I couldn't help but compare all of that to the times that we are living in today. You know, we watch the news, we go through social media, and we see a lot of this doom and gloom and hate and hurt and all of those things. But one thing that Ezekiel and the other prophets of the Bible did was after they spoke out against all of these things, they ended with hope. 600 years after Ezekiel was around, Jesus came into the scene. And he said in John 2:19, "Destroy the temple, and I will rebuild it in 3 days." Of course, he wasn't talking about a physical temple that a lot of the people assumed, but he was talking about his body and the body of Christ. So while we're living in difficult times and we see a lot of injustice and hurt, we have hope. And the only one who can bring about that hope is Jesus Christ. So, I hope that you have a chance to read the book of Ezekiel. I also encourage you to click the link in the video description to find the devotional. If you haven't been able to look at any of these devotionals, just to quickly kind of explain what they are, these devotionals are meant to be done with families or groups, and they have different sections in them. So we have a guided reading section, we have a section for kids, sometimes we have a section for teens, we have discussion sections and worship sections. So as you're going through these devotionals, you can pick and choose what kind of sections that you want to do with whatever your group is. So encourage you to click the link and work on these devotionals, and I will talk to you again next week.